Hey guys, welcome back to Kerbal Space Program. Today we're actually going to be headed to the moon. So I've already built a ship. Let's see if we can zoom out a little bit. This is the ship. It's going to take us to the moon, hopefully. No promises. Let's see. Okay, so this is our upper stage. I'm using the atomic rocket actually to get us back home. These are still for entry and landing onto the moon. And then these, of course, are to get out of the Earth's atmosphere. Hopefully that'll be enough power. I think it should be. I don't see why it wouldn't be. And notice we do have the Separatrons here to pull the tanks off the sides, along with our flat decouplers here. Now let me make sure I got my staging right, because that seems to be something that that'll get me every single time. So let's see. Alright, that looks right. Then we decouple, and then we decouple. Okay, good. And then, okay, I want my atomic rocket to burn too. There we go. Yeah. And maybe, actually, let's do this. Let's have these feeding. Let's try that again. Let's have these feeding into the fuel tank. That way it stays full for our return trip home. That's good. And yeah, so I guess let's take it out for a spin. Also, I named this the Shivo Mark 1. I plan on naming it after subscribers eventually, when I get subscribers. Anyway, okay, so here we go. We're going to count down. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And lift off. Notice I did turn on my SAS immediately. Mainly so I could clear the tower, but it also keeps you going straight up. And so what I'm looking for is, now this isn't official, this is just me. I don't go looking for tips on how to play this game or anything. I usually wait for this to get to 300 meters per second and my altitude to get to 10,000 meters, or 10,000 meters before I start my gravity turn. For those of you who don't know, gravity turn is when you turn in the atmosphere with your jets still on. It starts your orbit, gets you a nice arc. And I'll be explaining a little bit more about orbits when we get up to the, or out of the atmosphere into an orbit. But yeah, so this is looking alright. We're about to start our gravity turn. Ooh, and our stages just stopped, so we're gonna stage. Whew, okay. That was close. And we're gonna aim for that 90-degree line right here. And we're actually get about 45 degrees over. Okay, that looks good for right now. Let's take a look at our map. Alright. Out of the atmosphere is around 70,000 meters. So that's what we want our apoapsis to get to. Your apoapsis is the very top of your arc. And there we go. Or it's the highest part of your orbit. So, which our orbit right now is just an arc, so. But our apoapsis is increasing, so that is good. But our fuel is decreasing at a crazy rate, so I'm a little worried about that. Hopefully we can get that up to 70,000 before we run out of fuel in this first stage. There we go. Okay. And let's stop right there. So we have about half fuel. It's not the worst thing in the world. But we're going to have to rely on these engines a lot more than I thought we would. But that's okay. I think we can still get into an orbit. And once we get into orbit, I know we can make it to the moon. The orbit's the hard part for me. So here we are. We're at 60,000 meters, headed to 75,000 meters. And I'm going to aim for this yellow mark right here. I don't remember what the actual name of the mark is, but it's the direction that you're going. Flip on my RCS real fast. Get aimed. We get aimed right at the 90-degree mark. There we go. Okay. Up, 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 up. Alright. I'm gonna burn a little bit. As you can see, the arc is getting wider. It's turning into more of an orbit. But when we hit the apoapsis, or right before we hit the apoapsis, I'm gonna turn my engines all the way on. Get as much out of them as I can. And here we go. And gone. So we're gonna stage. Ooh, there's a lot of power coming out of those. Alright, let's take a look. Oh yeah, we're still increasing. That's a good sign. Oh, not as much as I'd like to though. Oh, that's actually pretty slow. Uh-oh. Well, we're gonna keep trying. I think we might be able to get it. It's going to be extremely close though, because we are on the downside, and these aren't cutting it. Might have to replace them with bigger engines. I hope not though. I'd rather use these little engines. It can maybe give us some more liftoff speed, but I don't know if that'd help too much. Alright, we get aimed at our yellow dot. Even though it's headed down, I want to get all the speed I can. And our fuel tanks are holding up well though, so if we can get an orbit out of this. Oh, okay, it's looking good. There we go. Alright, and this is our periapsis. The periapsis is the lowest point of your orbit, which is headed towards me really fast, so that's a good thing. Because if 60-ish thousand is the lowest point of our orbit, then I'll be happy with that orbit. We'll aim straight up. I think that's how this works. To increase my area I'm on right now. There we go. Alright. Whew! Oh. Alright. That was a lot rougher than I thought it was going to be. Yeah. So let's take a look at our map. Awful orbit. We have an orbit that goes between 385,000 meters and 59,000 meters. So before I try to get to the moon, I'm going to try to circularize our orbit a little bit. So yeah, I'll be right back when we hit the apoapsis. Alright, we're approaching the apoapsis now. Maybe get a little bit closer. Oh no, we need to aim our ship. Alright. So this is where orbits are kind of weird. To increase the size, or to increase the height of one side, you have to, like, for example, to increase our periapsis right now, I'm going to have to burn this direction at the apoapsis. So when I'm going this way, my periapsis is going to start to expand. You're about to see that, and well, we can do it right now. So starting our burn, and you see our periapsis is expanding. That's one of the weird, I don't know why it works, but I am willing to blow your mind a little bit. This blew my mind when I was told it, but an orbit is basically free fall, but you're moving so fast forward that you never hit the ground. That's a very general statement, but it is awesome to me. So when something's orbiting the Earth, it's just constantly falling. It's just moving too fast in one direction to actually hit the Earth. It keeps missing. Alright, so to get to the moon, we need our ship to be about right here, where my mouse is. You can do it by that judgment, or you can do it by the moonrise, is what people call it. And that's when the moon comes over this horizon. When it's just about halfway over this horizon, you start your burn, and you'll always hit it. So I'm going to do it that way this time. Both ways are equally fine because they're the same thing. It's just different ways of looking at it. But I'm going to increase our time until we see the moon. I feel like we're getting close. Where are you, moon? Oh. Okay, there it is. So let's start our burn. And we should get into an interception with the moon if everything went right. So here we go. Start our burn. We still have plenty of fuel. I'm a little worried, because this is our landing fuel. That's not just... Oh, I didn't even think about that. Oh, there's no way to deactivate these engines either. Maybe I could Oh, okay, there we go. Okay, so I deactivated those engines, and we'll just use our rocket for now. Oh. Is that increasing fast enough? It's increasing at an okay speed. It's... I don't know. Maybe I should turn them on. I don't know. Maybe I should turn them on. Okay, I'm gonna leave them on until they're at a quarter fuel, and then I'm gonna have to turn them off. Otherwise, we won't be able to land. Oh, but it might be enough. It might be enough. Okay. I'm gonna go ahead and disable their flow. The further out the apoapsis is from you, the faster it increases. So you can see it's increasing at a really fast rate now of almost 100,000 meters per second. So in a second now, when these two lines intercept, we're going to see right here on our apoapsis that we intercept the moon. It's your computer telling you that you are intercepting it, so you gotta watch, be really careful. Oh. There it is. So this is the periapsis of the moon. So we're gonna slingshot around Kerbin, hit the moon encounter, and then when we get to our periapsis, we're gonna have to counter burn to slow ourselves down so we can get in orbit around the moon. So, here we go. I'll be back when we're about to get into the moon's orbit.